Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how you can read data, thermodynamic data from a psychrometric chart. So as you all know, a psychrometric chart is a chart that is useful for determining the physical and thermodynamic properties of a gas vapor mixture, especially water vapor and air. So here is a simple representation of a psychrometric chart. It looks a little bit difficult to understand for the first time. So after I show you what these lines represent and give you some example at the end, you will see that it will be easy to read and get the necessary data. So from here you can see that you have different properties like wet bulb temperature, dry bulb temperature, specific volume or specific enthalpy, also moisture content or and relative humidity are represented. If you have two of the properties of the mixture, then all the other properties can be read from the chart. So one of the property is dry bulb temperature. So this dry bulb temperature is the temperature of the air measured with the thermometer. So how are you going to find this dry bulb temperature from the psychrometric chart? So if you see this is a simple representation of the psychrometric chart, then the dry bulb temperature is represented with the vertical line drawn on the psychrometric chart on the chart. So the vertical line represents dry bulb temperature, and it's written on the x-axis. So the temperature is presented here, and the other property is the wet bulb temperature. Is the temperature read by the thermometer covered in water-soaked cloth over which air is passed. So this wet bulb temperature is most of the time lower than the dry bulb temperature, but at 100% relative humidity, wet bulb temperature will be equal to dry bulb temperature. So on the psychrometric chart, the wet bulb temperature is represented with the inclined lines. So these inclined lines will show the wet bulb temperature. And the other is the dew point temperature. So dew point temperature is the temperature at which saturation occurs or vapor condenses. So the dew point temperature on the psychrometric chart is represented with the horizontal line. The curve is the saturation line. This curve is the dew point line. So on each point, on each horizontal line, you can see the dew point temperature. And the other is enthalpy, which is the measure which measures the heat energy in the air per kilogram. So here the enthalpy is represented here. So the enthalpy also as the wet bulb temperature will be represented with the inclined line. So the enthalpy and the wet bulb temperature are in parallel. So if you extend the wet bulb temperature line to this line, then you will find the enthalpy. So these are the lines that represent the enthalpy. Then the values of the enthalpy are placed on this horizontal line. So the other is relative humidity, which is the ratio of vapor pressure of moisture in the sample to the saturation vapor pressure at the dry bulb temperature of the sample, or simply it is the amount of water present in air. So on the relative humidity is presented by this curved line. So the curved lines represent the relative humidity. So the relative humidity is presented with a percentage. So here you will find that at saturation point or at the dry bulb temperature, the dew point temperature will be the 100% relative humidity. And at this point here, the dry bulb temperature will be here 0% relative humidity. So this is 0, and at this point it will be 100%. So in between, different values of relative humidity can be presented in the chart. So the other is specific volume. So the specific volume also is represented in a horizontal line. So from this horizontal line is not parallel with the wet bulb temperature or the enthalpy line. So this line represents the specific volume. From this data, if you understand each line of the properties, then you can determine any given data from the psychrometric chart. So, for example, if the dry bulb temperature is given at 25 degrees centigrade and the relative humidity at 40%, then you can read the other necessary data or thermodynamic data from this psychrometric chart. So, for example, if you are asked to find the absolute humidity, the first thing you have to do is you have to draw a line. So this is the dry bulb temperature. So the dry bulb temperature is at 25 degrees centigrade and relative humidity is at 40%. So here you can see the dry bulb temperature at 25 degrees centigrade. You draw a vertical line, and the humidity curve, this is the humidity curve, this and this, it's 40%. So the line where the 40% humidity line curve and the dry bulb temperature curve touches will be the intersection point. So from this point on, you can find the absolute humidity. So the absolute humidity will be, you have to draw a straight line, So this is the intersection point. So you have to draw a straight line from here. So you'll find that the absolute humidity will be around 0.008 kilogram per kilogram. The wet bulb temperature will be, so the wet bulb temperature, this is the wet bulb temperature. So you can see here the wet bulb temperature as 10, 15, and 20. So this wet bulb temperature is drawn with this line. So this line represents the wet bulb temperature. So you have to draw from starting from this intersection point a parallel line to the given wet bulb temperature. So when you draw that, you will find that the wet bulb temperature will be around 16 point or around 16 degrees centigrade. So this is 15 and this is 20. So this is 15 and 16. So the enthalpy will be, so you have to extend the wet bulb temperature line to the specific enthalpy line. So the enthalpy will be around, so you can read from here, it's around 46 kilojoule per kilogram. The other will be specific volume. So the specific volume from the chart, you can see that the specific volume is represented here in meter cube per kilogram. This is the specific volume line. So here we have 0.8. This line is the specific volume line, which is 0.8. Then you have here 0.85. Then you have here 0.9. So from this point on, you can draw a parallel line from the closest one. So this is 0.85 line. So you have to draw from this intersection point a parallel line to find the specific volume. So when you do that, you will find that the specific volume will be around 0.856 or 855. So you have to have a ruler to measure correctly or to measure precisely. So it will be, the specific volume will be 0.855 meter cube per kilogram. So after the specific volume, if you want to determine the dew point temperature, the dew point temperature will be represented here, and you require a horizontal line from the dry bulb temperature and relative humidity intersection point. So therefore, if you draw a horizontal line here, you'll see that the saturation temperature would be, or the dew point temperature would be 10 around 11 degrees centigrade. So the dew point temperature will be 11 degrees centigrade. So as you can see, if you have only two datas, in this case for dry bulb temperature and relative humidity, you can find the other datas just by drawing some of the basic lines on the psychrometric chart. So if you have any question, please put it on the comment section, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.